How's it going, Maize and Blue fans? Once again, it's almost that time. I wanted to do a video earlier in the week to set the stage for this big game we got coming up. So let's get to it. As always, like, share, subscribe to my page. Keep the videos pumping out and just gonna keep putting it out there for y'all. Michigan all day, every day. But this week, as we all know, we got Penn State. At Penn State, they're going to do a whiteout like they always do for the big games, So they're going to be ready for us. When I say a team's going to be ready, you see they're ready for us. So the number one thing against Penn State is Saquon Barkley. Got to shut him down or at least try to contain him. We have to. And Penn State will be angry because we beat them, 49-10 last year? We embarrassed them last year. Then after that, they got on a roll and everything, and then it continued into this year. Last year, we stomped them. We stomped them out. But this isn't the same team as last year. We don't have all those seniors. So it's not going to be that type of game. Like, we're going to have to play to stay in this one. Of course, let me get back on Barkley, though. Saquon Barkley, he's better than last year. He's the type of player you want on your squad because he's gotten better every year, which is what you want for a player to improve every year. He's getting bigger, stronger, and faster. And this year, they are making a real case to get him the ball and try to win him the Heisman. So this dude is returning punts, kick returns. He's one of their leading receivers, and he's the starting running back. So it's not going to be as easy as it was last year to try to contain him because they're getting him the ball any way possible. Like, this dude gets the ball so much, it's ridiculous. Like he's a workhorse. Like, he's their workhorse. So if we want to beat them, we have to contain him and make Todd McSorley beat us from the pocket because he likes to run around and scramble. And we have trouble with that because we run so much man. Our man defenders are running downfield, and then the quarterback escapes the pocket, and nobody else is noticing because they're chasing receivers. So this week, I wouldn't mind if we actually went to some zones. I'm not sure how Don Brown feels about zones, but honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea because we can keep our eyes on McSorley and keep our eyes on Barkley because Barkley is a beast. If you have seen some of the stuff this dude has been doing this year, he's the real deal. He is the real deal. So you can't miss tackles or any of that, or he will make you look stupid. He will put you on a highlight reel fast. Like, just improvement. I can't say anything bad about dude because he is putting on a show. But the game has to go through McSorley. We have to make him beat us. We cannot let Barkley beat us. We cannot. Just like Iowa almost had him beat, and then they let Barkley get some plays, and he basically kept them in the game. Iowa had Penn State beat, but Penn State's players, McSorley made a couple plays too. He made the game-winning touchdown. But Iowa had them beat. But it comes down to players make plays. Big time players make big time plays, as Woodson would say. But you just got to get it done with him. Like, that is the number one thing. Second thing I would say besides Barkley is penalties. Michigan has been so penalized. It's what's bad is we didn't start off like that. It's just slowly gotten worse as the weeks go on. I think it said we had 17 penalties last week against I'm not even sure who we played anymore. It slips my mind, but yeah, we had 17 penalties. Indiana. We had 17 penalties. That's just ridiculous. Because we had penalties on offensive holding, defensive holding, false starts, delay of games, it was just ridiculous. Personal fouls. Like every penalty you can pretty much get, we got. And that's just ridiculous. That's like 4 or 5, almost 5 penalties a quarter. That's just ridiculous. We can't beat good teams like that. Not teams with players of this caliber. We have to be. This game, we're gonna have to play a perfect game. Okay, now I'm talking about Barkley and what the defense basically has to do. Well, let me tell you one thing about that. We need the D-line. The D-line has to be disciplined. Like, they have to be disciplined. We get little times where we get undisciplined for whatever reason, especially kind of on the read plays. They have sometimes where the D lineman or the linebacker on the edge, he won't stay disciplined and he'll just chase the running back and the quarterback and just go around the edge, or vice versa. Like, they have to stay disciplined on those type of plays where it's just watching the ball, and you're not watching the ball, you're just kind of going after something, and you have to pay attention to who has the ball. But it's nothing coaching won't do. Don Brown usually happens first half, and then second half they get back on track. So I'm not worried about the defense too much. It's just the offense has to keep them off the field. Like, we have to get some drives going so our defense isn't on the field so much. Because if we get tired, the defense get tired, Barkley is going to start putting us on the highlight film. You can count on that. Like, you can count on this dude to do something spectacular. But the offense, let's get to the offense. Michigan's offense, as we all know, has been horrible. It's just gotten worse. And last week the running game got going kind of, but it wasn't consistent. Like, it was just big plays. Like, it was just some big plays. Like, so we have to be consistent in the running game so John O'Corn can actually make some throws and get the pressure taken off. The play action pass will start working better. But it's really kind of just on O'Corn, though. Because O'Corn, we can talk about the play calling. The O-line played better last week. Like, the O-line gave him time. Like, I just sat back and rewatched some of it. He had his time, but he gets happy feet in the pocket, and then he locks on the first receiver. If it's not there, he gets happy feet and he escapes the pocket, which breaks down our blocking schemes, because you've escaped the pocket when your teammates had the dudes blocked, but you ran out of the pocket and messed it up. So he has to stay disciplined, sit in the pocket, and go through your progression. You have to go through your progressions. If he's not going to go through progressions, we might as well put Peters in and start for the future. Even though Harbaugh may not want to put him back there behind that O-line. Because if it's a good D-line, I'm not sure how our O-line is going to handle it. Because Michigan State exposed us, and they have those type of dudes. So they exposed us on our offensive line. And I wouldn't be surprised if Penn State kind of had the same thing. So, but it goes on O'Corn being patient and trusting his teammates to block for him. But it also goes to play calling. Now, you have to know what your guys do well and what they don't do well. O'Corn comes from a spread offense. So you may need to put in more five wide, 4 wide type sets and let him do some play action read, and just run those type of plays. Because he's going to be more comfortable. Get him on the outskirts, because he can throw on the run. He threw a dime last week when he escaped the pocket. He made a hell of a play. It was he was about to get sacked. He steps up, gets hit, knocked back, and then he runs to the right side, and he threw a ball in the triple coverage. Dude was blanketed. He dropped the ball in beautiful. So O'Corn can make the throws on the run. He just gets nervous in the pocket because he doesn't really have pocket presence too much. So he gets happy feet. He wants to get out of there. So we may need to run more read plays and get him on the outside, more play action plays and get him on the outside. And I said this in another video. You have to exploit the mismatches. Exploit the mismatches. Get some running back. You have to get running backs on linebackers, tight ends on corners, tight ends on safeties, wide receivers on safeties, wide receivers on running backs. Make it easy for these dudes and call plays where you know these dudes are going to be open, because this man, if you're going to start O'Corn and he's going to be just going with his first read, maybe second, then you're going to have to call plays to where he can actually execute them, and these dudes will be open, whether it's 5 yards. You may just have to dink and dunk all the way down the field and live with 5 yards, 7 yards here, and so on and so on. Like, you have to adjust your play calling to your players. And that's just number one. No matter what level you're on, if you want to be successful on offense or defense, you have to adjust your play calling to who's in the game. You don't have Wilton Speight in there that actually will actually sit in the pocket and go through his progression, but he'll just overthrow it and stuff like that. You got O'Corn in there. O'Corn can make the throws. He's not scared to make the throw, but he doesn't go through his reads. He locks on one receiver and then gets out of there. O'Corn is like, I'm not sitting in his pocket. He's getting out of there. So the offensive coordinator and Jim Harbaugh have to get in there and adjust the schemes to O'Corn. O'Corn has legs, so get him on the outskirts. He's more comfortable throwing that way anyway, so you might as well just make him as comfortable as possible, because we're not going to beat them with 58 yards passing. It's not going to happen. If we beat them with 58 yards passing, our defense is going to play probably the game of the year. We're going to have a couple defensive touchdowns. And hey, we might have that, but it's just not likely we're going to beat Penn State with 58 yards rushing. It's just not likely. Because the style of defense we play is kind of feast or famine. Like, a lot of the times we get there and everything, but if they beat us on those blitzes and stuff like that, it's big plays. And hopefully we can stop them before they get in the end zone. But sometimes, it's just they just beat you on the coverage or beat you on the blitz, and then a big play happens. So it's not likely Penn State's pretty good. You just have to stop Barkley. If you stop Barkley, you can be in the game and bend but don't break, which we know we have that type of defense that bends, but they don't usually break too much. So just like in that goal line stand at the end of the Indiana game, they step up when they need to. So that's a big thing. And special teams, let me talk about special teams a little bit. We're going to need a big play on punt return or on kick return. And that's one thing that has hurt us this year. Our kick return game is non-existent. Like, we need put Donovan Peoples-Jones back there. Crawford, he runs into dudes. I don't know if maybe it's just me, but I've noticed on kick return, he runs into dudes like all the time. Like, I see where there's holes and stuff, and he literally will run into his blockers like all the time. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't like him back there. I don't know if it's just me, but I do not like him back there. I don't know. I might try Higdon back there or something. With his burst and explosiveness, I might put Higdon back there, let him see what he can do. Because the way our offense is, we need special team scores, punt return, kick return, and we need to get in field goal range for one. Like, with our kicker, there's no reason where we shouldn't be kicking field goals like at least all game. Like, we should be getting at least 3-4 kicks every game, because our kicker can boot it from almost 60 yards. This dude kicked 60-yarders in practice before the game. So if we get to where we can get to the 35, that should be 3. So we just have to be disciplined on all phases of the game. We have to be disciplined because we're getting penalties in every phase. I don't care if it's a kick return, punt return, freaking kickoffs, offense and defense. We're just getting penalties. We have to be disciplined, and defense needs to be disciplined, especially going against Barkley. Like, that has to be done. And the offense is just really on O'Corn and the play calling, because we'll see what the running game does. Because We may be able to run on them, we may not. But if O'Corn, we're going to need O'Corn regardless, because we're not just going to run over them for a crazy amount of yards. That's not likely. Like, we're going to need O'Corn to be like he was against Purdue. We're going to need that type of O'Corn. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. We got Penn State. They're going to have the whiteout Saturday night. It's going to be a big game. All of college football we'll be watching. So if we just come out and play well, hey, this and beat them, they're number 2 in the nation. So that'll put us right back in the playoff hunt if we beat them. It's crucial. Like, Harbaugh needs to get these dudes ready to ruin their season, because this will mess them all the way up, and it will boost us way back into the top 10 by beating them. Like, so we just need a great showing, and we're right back in the playoff mix. We lose this game, we can just expect a decent bowl game, being in a decent bowl game. But that's all I wanted to say. As always, like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.